Good afternoon. This is Jordan out here with Jared. We're taking a look at what the cows are up to on this kind of chilly November day. It's November 29th today, 2023. We just had a really cold day yesterday. It was about 28 degrees at a high, and today's gonna be a little bit nicer, so like 48 degrees, I think, and it's gonna get a little warmer and wet through the weekend. So we're looking at some winter weather, but we're not quite into the winter yet. So I just wanted Jared to give us an update here on what the cattle are up to during these winter months, or as we prepare for winter months.
Yeah, so out here on the farm, we're not quite in the full swing of wintertime yet, because in the wintertime there's not a lot of grass, and we feed primarily hay, and we do that by rolling out round bales. You can see our four-wheeler there, and there's a cart with the round bale on it over there, and we use that to roll out the round bales so we can get the hay out in the pasture, so that the manure and everything from the cattle is going out into the pasture where the nutrients can feed the soil next year. And we've seen a lot of great results from doing that over the past few years. So anyway, like I said, we're not quite in the full swing of winter yet because we've still got a decent amount of grass and forage out here. Not necessarily in this particular spot right here. I haven't moved the cattle yet today, and we're going to move them later this afternoon. But because we've been grazing on some cover crop fields, some neighboring row crop farmers had some cover crops and about 80 acres of their fields, and we've been grazing those for the past couple months. And so we've been able to leave a little bit extra grass in our main pastures, our perennial pastures. And so now we're going back through and grazing that one more time for the year.
How many days of rest did these pastures have?
So these had about 90 days, 90 to 100 days of rest. Usually we'll get around 45 to 60 days worth of rest on a regular cycle. And so we were able to get a little bit over a month of extra rest. And that's really nice because it leads us into wintertime with a little bit of extra forage. Gives us a little bit of stockpile to work with. Even once the grass goes dormant, once we start getting all these freezes, there's still some grass out there to eat. We'll supplement with hay. Right now, they're going through a round bale about once every 3 to 5 days. And we've got about 120 head out here, about 80 or 90 animal units total. And so then we'll come back through here. All of our perennial pastures we'll go through one more time throughout the winter. And that time we'll just be feeding primarily hay, rolling it out. And that's nice to do rather than putting them on a feedlot or up in a barn or something, because we can still be getting nutrients out into the fields and into the pastures. And sometimes the hay will have a little bit of seeds in it, and a lot of times primarily clover seeds. And so the next year you can see some of the places we roll out hay, there'll be extra forage, extra clover grown in those spots.
So you're still moving the cattle on a regular basis, and they're still going through all of the pastures on a rotational adaptive system, just like they would in the summertime. It just looks a little different.
Yeah, and it's a lot closer right now to the way we move them in the summertime than it will be in another month. Because like I was saying, we're still moving them every single day. Most of the time, every once in a while there'll be a little exception to that. We move them every single day so that they've got fresh grass to eat, and it keeps them bunched up and gets the nutrients spread around properly. And then the difference is that we're just giving them more land right now. So in springtime, early summer, when we've got tons of forage out here, this amount of cattle can go through about an acre a day when the grass is knee-high to hip-high. And right now, since the grass is more like 12 to 16 inches high in a lot of places, we're giving them 2 acres a day, roughly. And then in the wintertime, all the grass will be dormant, and they won't be munching on that a whole lot anyway, maybe a little bit, and we'll just give them whatever size of land is appropriate so that they don't put too much hoof impact on the pasture, and then we'll feed however much hay they need each day. But the point is, we're trying to keep the nutrients cycling on our soil and on our land and in our forage all year long. and we're trying to make sure that we keep our cattle on as diverse and nutrient dense of a diet that we can by keeping them out on the pasture all the time.